the human ego personality selves. God said, listen, there's one thing I ask you not to do, and one thing only. Do not indulge in viewing the world through the judgmental mind of man and seeing good and evil. According to the story, now I didn't write the story, but it says this. There's two trees talked about. There's the tree of life, and there's the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And it said, if you eat of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, according to our story that's written, you're going to die. That's what God promised Adam and Eve. And not just you're going to die, but you're going to die that very day. Now, I don't know exactly the terminology it was written in, whether it meant in that moment you're going to die that very instant, which probably that's the way in which it was conveyed, because the moment you judge something and you put a value on it,
all bets are off.
All bets are off. You are no longer awakened to your relationship to the whole.
But you're being controlled by your ego.
You are definitely now controlled by the ego, and you have a perceived reality as opposed to a true reality. That is the death experience.
In God's eyes, what happens to murderers?
In God's eyes, nothing happens to murderers that doesn't happen to any of us. We are going on a path, and we are experiencing the exact vibration we're holding. Each and every one of us is altering our vibration, our frequency, so to speak, on every moment of every day. If we look at the promise of death that we just talked about, and we recognize that you have the choice of death and you have the choice of life. If you choose death, if you choose to experience the dualistic aspect of creation, and you see good and evil, then you contain a vibration that is based upon your connecting to love or your fear-based thoughts. So a murderer carries a vibration. They have a degree of good, they have a degree of bad.
And you will forgive that murderer if he killed your son.
There is no reason to forgive. There is no harm, no foul. The concept of killing, the concept of death, belongs to the view of life and death on a limited plane. If you bring it to the eternal spirit, if you look at the infinite journey that we're all on, you cannot kill a spirit.
And we're a cumulative anyway. So some of us may not kill, some of us may kill, but we're all as one anyway.
Well, we're all as one. Now that being said, I'm not going to say that there are not consequences for actions. I want to get that clear.
There is definitely a karma.
There is a karma. There is a consequence for actions. And if somebody is harming another, they are interfering on someone else's journey. And while they're interfering on someone's journey, they are holding a vibration. And the intent of the act carries also with it a degree that is going to affect that energy. So, yes, there's going to be a consequence for action until we wake up to a higher reality. When you wake up to the highest reality, there is no need for forgiveness. However, along the way, forgiveness is a key. Forgiveness is a key to releasing the hold of the pattern that we've established. When you have a pattern and you're holding on to something and you can't forgive this person and it's eating you,
you're considered a slave.
You are a slave too. You're a slave to that belief. You're a slave to your judgment. Absolutely.
So let's just say you forgive the person. Now you've basically said, I am not controlled anymore by my thoughts. I'm free. I'm not a slave. But karma tends to always get back to those individuals. I mean, if you make a decision, isn't the decision better to make it when you don't hurt another soul, when you don't hurt another human being? And then if you try to make a decision and it actually hurts another human being, this decision is really yours. Which one do you take? Which, in essence, all of us are all going through the same thing. Do we make this decision if we're going to hurt somebody else, or do we make this decision if it does not hurt anybody else? That's one of the hardest things in this life as a human being to do, is make that correct decision. Why do we have